third phase of moon.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and I'm happy tonight to talk about some amazing things that we're doing in regards to the UFO Congress happening in Arizona right now. We have our correspondent on location getting some great interviews with the best in ufology from around the world, including Stanton Friedman. We have an exclusive interview with him. You know, we're excited to have Travis Walton, the man that was abducted by UFOs. His friends panicked and left him behind, and there was this massive investigation that happened in regards to his abduction. It is quite legendary, and we did manage to get an exclusive interview with Travis Walton. We got Stan Romanek over there speaking in regards to his alien abduction. And, you know, it's pretty great that we have correspondents from around the world. We're looking for correspondents around the world. If you've captured anything, that's great. But on the other hand, we're looking for people to document true stories of alien abduction, close encounters, you know, UFOs in the skies. We want many documentarians out there, you know, Third Phase of Moon Nights is what we call them, to go out there, find footage of people and get their testimony. We're wanting to hear it. We want to see these productions. And who knows, we might even throw out some cash for it if we're thinking that the production value is up to par, because we got a lot of, you know, airtime on Third Phase of Moon, and the audience is growing quite large at the time. We just reached our 60,000 subscribers? 60,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel right now. Approximately 46 million hits and, you know, 180,000 views a day. So, you know, people are wanting the information out. It's hard to do it all by ourselves right here at Third Phase of Moon. We have a small team, but we're looking for more correspondents out there to get the information, get the product, get documentation, get video, and send it to us, and then we could work in collaboration with you. So if you're a little documentarian out there, you got video equipment, go out there and get the footage and the interviews. We're going to be talking also with, right here live on the radio tonight, the UFO Summoner, Robert Bingham. He's here. We're going to talk about his upcoming event over there in Malibu this time, an all-new location on the beach park down there in Malibu. Really nice location that's going to be happening. And some other guests that were there on his last summoning in regards to whether these were balloons of some kind, demons, angels. We're going to get to that. And if anybody has any questions for Third Phase of Moon or our guest tonight, you could call into 347-934-0378. And I just wanted to tell everybody at Third Phase of Moon, we really appreciate all the support out there, the people that are watching. We invite the skeptics, the debunkers, but we know the true Third Phase of Moon Nights, the one out there, you know, getting the word out, thumbsing up the videos, sharing it on Facebook. That's what it's all about. Okay, we're going to go to Robert Bingham, the man that summons UFOs. Robert, hey, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase of Moon.
Oh, hi, Blake. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Hey, Robert, so can you tell us what's going to be happening in the future in regards to your UFO summonings? I know you've been making a lot of contact as of late. A lot of people are gathering to your events. And tell us, how's it going from here? It seems like it's exploding.
Well, I did an event at Eagle Rock behind Occidental College, where Barack Obama went to school. I did it on a hilltop up there, and I posted a video. Pretty good stuff. I thought it was great video. I'm also having an event, like you said, at Malibu, California, at a place called Charmley Wilderness Park. It will be held on March 9th. I'll be there at 10 o'clock, and it won't start till about 12 o'clock, so it gives plenty of time for people to get there. I think where it's going is that I've gotten a lot of feedback back from the people that were there at Griffith Park, who I went over how to summon them, and I got a lot of good positive results. They're able to do it, and the people that practiced it, and they're posting comments on that video, and so it's taking off. It just might take a little time, but I think eventually it's gonna happen.
there's all kinds of stuff happening in the Middle East right now, and we managed to get the exclusive interview with AQ in regards to his incredible captures going on over there. Could they be drones? Could they be UFOs? Who knows? All kinds of amazing stuff. We do have a caller that just called in. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Yes. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. We hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Oh, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm from Maine. Let's see, at the age of 3, I've seen alien grays for weeks. My father ended up seeing them in front of our window after I kept telling them I keep seeing them. Of course, they didn't believe me until then. And then, like, a year and a half ago, I contacted MUFON and talked with a guy, and he said that if he could get someone to my house to study the tree that it was over, because, like, radiation or something messed with it and killed it all off. And, let's see, like 2 weeks after that. Excuse me?
Okay, yeah. I wanted to ask you, and you guys get back to your story real quick. How was the response when he called into MUFON and their reaction on getting back to you and, you know, taking your story seriously?
Well, he sounded real interested, but where I live, they don't have many people in MUFON up in this region, so he was hoping that he'd get someone up here. And about 2 weeks later, it went by, and I had a black SUV come up my driveway and asked, blah, blah, my name and all that. And I said, oh, yes, that's me, And they asked me if they could see the tree and get tree samples. And I told them, yeah, do you have a MUFON card? And they said, oh, we don't carry them. Well, that's when I realized that the SUV that they were driving was not like a civilian one.
It was an unmarked car?
Yeah, I guess you'd say that. It had license plate, but like 3 numbers on it. And 2 businessmen were like in suits. And real clean cut, and I knew that they weren't from MUFON, because most people from MUFON are like civilians, They're clean cut, real military looking, had like 5 antennas on the car. And when I asked them for a business card from MUFON, they said, oh, we don't carry them, but we'd still like to see the tree. Now, at this point, I didn't, I wasn't even going to go there because I don't trust the government, because I know if people do open their trap, they do get rid of them. So, like, I'm really bugging on even calling you right now.
Hey, if you want to keep it anonymous, we're not going to reveal your.
Well, that's why
location.
I didn't say my name. I just said I'm from Maine.
Hey, let me just ask you: did these guys appear like? Do you really feel that were they possibly men in black?
They looked too clean. Too clean shaven, too well hair done. The hair was, military style. They looked CIA undercover, you know what I mean? Like, who drives around in a black SUV with tinted windows and like 5 antennas on it?
I got a theory about your encounter and who these people were. Can you stick around for a few more minutes? I want to get back to you and talk about your theory, my theory about. I think I know who visited you. Okay, can you stick around for a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, just hang on, and we're going to take this other call. We'll get back to the guy that possibly got involved with gray encounters of aliens and strange visitors shortly after he contacted MUFON. We're going to get back to that here real shortly, but we're going to take this call from area code 310 LA. This is Blake Cousins. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, hi, Blake. My name's Chris.
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you're in LA. Have you showed up to any of the Robert Bingham UFO sightings?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm calling. I promised Robert I was going to just chime in here for a bit, and, I've actually gone to 2 of his events now. The first one in downtown LA, and then the second at Griffith Park. And I just wanted to give credit to what he's been doing. and I really appreciate his kind of putting himself out there and putting himself on a limb, where he's exposes himself to some criticism and all the debunker stuff. But I just wanted to chime in a bit, and I was the one who took a lot of the good photos from the event at Griffith Park.
Hey, Chris, can you describe to our listeners right now what you think they were and what you visually what they look like?
Well, the first event in downtown LA at the MacArthur Park there were, I mean, there's no explanations. I mean, he proved to me beyond a doubt. It was just pretty obvious, and everyone there, and it was really good energy. There was only about 10 people at that event, maybe a few more, but that was just a really great experience, and I got to know Robert quite well. And so those were sort of like orbs, I guess you'd call it, very bright, shiny light, something that's, it's beyond me. And even some of the debunkers that go and show up, for example, Joe, I forget his last name, but he was there as well, and he'll tell you that he feels the same exact way. Unfortunately, a lot of people came expecting, I feel, a little too much.
When Robert Bingham, he goes by the man who summons UFOs. He's not going by the man that brings down spaceships. They're unidentified flying objects most of the time up in the sky. When Robert's around, people are around, they're capturing it on film. And he's doing no more than just that. They're UFOs. Hey, I'm not saying they're aliens by any means. In my opinion, they possibly could be military drones spying on aliens, but they are unidentified. Right, Robert?
Right. I don't think possibly that the military would do that. They got much better things to do than follow me around and show that, show up when I say that they're going to show up. They're definitely not military.
Well, it's quite interesting. They're not in the skies at the time prior, but when you're doing them, that's all of a sudden when they show up, and like you just said, that they're not going to waste their time following one individual around. But it seemed, hold on, guys, I want to get back to this LA story, but I also want to get back to Maine about, the military wasting their time following leads. It sounds like maybe they're not wasting their time. They're taking it very seriously on what's going on. And I wanted to get to this theory about who I think really visited Mark in this black SUV. Mark, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so are you aware that Bigelow Aerospace did a underground contract with MUFON just a year ago?
Really? Yes. This is when all this went on.
Well, okay, this is what Bigelow Aerospace came in. Mr. Bigelow, billionaire, building space stations right now, and they're operational up there. And he has the only right, as far as the UN's concerned, to weaponize space. NASA, none of the agencies can bring weapons into space, but for some odd reason, since he's an independent contractor, he's the only guy that could bring weapons of some sort. But he's building these space stations up there, and he's really interested in aliens. He bought this ranch out there. I forgot what was the name of the ranch? Skinwalker Ranch, this famous place for alien sightings, UFO sightings. He bought the whole ranch, and now he owns it. Nobody's allowed on there. Who knows what he's doing there, but he might have found something. But after he bought MUFON out for $750,000, he said, hey, MUFON, every information that you get, you're going to report it to me. And if we don't want it to get out to the public, I'm going to take the information and deal with it. The U.S. government, as far as the FAA was concerned, as far as pilots seeing UFOs in the skies, they refused to take, as of just recently, they changed the law that they cannot take testimony from U.S. pilots or any kind of pilots in aviation. If they say UFO, they can't report it to anybody, but they can report it now to Bigelow Aerospace. So I really think some of these guys that visited you were, employees of Bigelow coming down and what was going on. Can you explain this sighting? What this felt like when it happened?
Yeah, when I was 3 years old, if you ever know what an old-fashioned trailer is, they have like small windows in some of the rooms. They're not wide and they're not tall either. It's like 3 feet wide by, 10 inches, 12 inches. It was like a water closet. You could like put a dryer in there and wash it. That's all it was, but it was my room at the time. And I was 3 years old and kept telling my parents I keep seeing gray men looking in my window and want me to go with them. And I have gone with them. I remember, like, they're, like, at my window, and my window is, mind you, 5 feet from the base of the trailer. And then there's another 3 feet before it even gets to the ground. And these little 3 foot, 3.5 foot people were looking through my window, real bright bluish white light along with them. And 1 minute they're outside the window, the next minute they're in my room. And what I remember, it reminded me of a chopstick, like touching me on the forehead, and that was it. And the next thing I know, I'm back in my room, running to my parents' room to tell them. And they're like, oh, it's just a dream, it's just a dream. Go back to bed. And that happened for months and upon months until one day I'm in the ship looking out my window in front of the house and seeing my father in the bedroom. And then the next second, I'm back in my room. I ran out of my room to go to my parents' room to tell them, and my father met me in the living room. And I was like, Daddy, did you see him? And he was like, yeah, I saw him. But they wouldn't believe me until then. And then, let's see, I was like 9 or 12, I think, somewhere around there. We're in Dover watching a game out near the fields, and next to the field there's railroad tracks. And I remember 2 kids with like Catholic uniforms, and they looked human, but they didn't, you know what I mean? Their eyes were sort of bigger, and they wanted me to go play with them, so I went to go play with them. And next thing I know, I'm laying back in this field with everybody, and I'm bleeding brown blood from my nose. I went to the emergency room and all that. And like I've been openly telling people, for years, I've been criticized, been called crazy and everything else. And, I still stick to my guns till this day, that what I saw, and I openly tell people, because they'll say, oh, that'd be awesome to see them. I wonder if it's true, so I'll openly tell people it, because I believe it should be known. People should know this, I mean,
everybody's got to come forward. It's a worldwide effort. It's a worldwide surge to get the information out so we could get disclosure. Mark, do you think maybe if when you're ready to come forward, if we could maybe get some cameramen on the ground over there, look at some of the trace evidence, maybe get some interviews with you when you're ready, and we want real people to come forward because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, someone like that I could trust, because I'm really bugged out on the whole black car thing, and I know that other people that have seen stuff have been wiped out, taken off.
Well, the more the information gets out, the safer you become. You get it out. We're on a scale that we get it out so quickly, it's hard to cover up. We've never had any, really, as of lately, since Third Phase of Moon's been up, any visitors from government officials, but we know they're watching. But what are they going to do? We're going to keep doing what we're doing.
The tree that this ship was over, was a pine tree, and this thing died. Anything around it, everything around it died. The whole tree died, and it's still laying in my backyard today. No bark on it at all. No moss growing on it at all. And it's just sitting there.
There's physical proof ready to be studied.
There's physical proof sitting right there, and the pine trees behind that tree that got mainly hit. You could still see today the dead branches that were I guess, radiated or, chemically altered, chemistry altered by the ship. Nothing, no pine needles grow on it. Moss is now growing on it. It's been over 30 years. But
Robert, we got Robert, the UFO summoner, and other guests that witnessed his events. Robert, do you have any advice?
Yes, I'd like to speak on that. I believe this is all disinformation the government's putting out there to put the, so to speak, peekaboo or boogeyman and all that. I don't believe in this story at all, and that's my opinion.
You don't believe in my story at all?
No,
okay,
not at all.
Dude, I was 3 years old, all right?
I believe
and
that
seeing little gray men with big eyes looking at me.
But I believe that you're just working for the government. And
I am working for the government? Dude, I'm a civilian living in Maine,
dude. Anyway, show the proof.
Take that guy off the air. He don't even know what he's talking about. You don't know me.
You're feeding this information to the public.
Yes, I am, because everybody should know this. Everybody should know that there are gray men going out in this world, abducting people.
Oh, yeah.
Taking them.
You got proof, okay. Sounds like
I know it for a fact, sir.
Oh,
I know it for a fact.
Oh, anyway, thanks, Blake.
When they speak to you telepathically.
This is ridiculous. I don't want to be part of it.
Yeah, you're ridiculous. Get you off the air. You don't want to. Nobody should even listen to you.
Okay.
Dude, I know what I've seen. I know what I heard, dude. I've seen them firsthand. If you plug your ears and talk, you can hear your voice inside the middle of your head. That's what it sounds like when they talk to you telepathically. Except
Mark,
it's not.
Robert Bingham, he had an opinion. He stated it, and I'm not making any judgment here.
I've been ridiculed all my life on this, and I still openly speak about it because I think everybody should know about it. And people that think that, I'm a liar and I'm crazy, well, you know what? They're the ignorant ones that can't realize that if we're on this planet alive and we're human beings and we have the technology to do what we want to do, why isn't there has to be other planets that are way more advanced than us, that have been around the world long before us, have been to the moon before us.
Hey, Mark, you're not the only one that claims these stories. They could be factual. They could be something in your mind. I'm not going to claim anything, but millions of other people around the world claim the same thing. Experts have done hypnotic regression studies, and I'm sure if they did something, you wanted to be part of that, there's people to get in touch with. You look at some of our Third Phase of Moon contacts. We've spoken with doctors that specialize in that. Hey, I just wanted to thank you, Mark, for sharing your story. You keep in touch, and thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate for putting having an opinion. We appreciate that.
Thank you for at least believing in me and believing my story. And that other man that don't believe in me, that man shouldn't even be on your radio talk show. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Hey, that's cool. Mark, you have a good night, and keep in touch when you're ready for us to put the word out, and maybe we could help you out on your end. Okay?
I would like that. I don't know how to get a hold of you on that part, but
you could get in touch with us via Facebook or Skype, Third Phase of Moon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That's been that was a heavy duty debate, and there's always both sides. Debate is good. Debate gets progress done. We got another caller in, area code 516. We're going to get to you here shortly, and I just wanted to say thanks to everybody listening to the radio show. And if anybody has any questions in regards to UFOs, you could contact Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. But hold on, everybody's going to stick around for a little bit. Let's go to 516 and see who this is and if they have any quick questions before we go to break. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon.
Yeah, hi, Blake. This is Russ Mayorana. I'm calling from Florida.
Hey, Russ Mayorana, how you doing?
Hi, Blake. How's it going? Listen, real quick, I know you got a minute and 31 seconds left to this portion of your show, so I just want to back up the guy who was just on talking about his experience that he had, and I'd like to back it up with my story. When I was 15, this happened to me, and I just went to bed. I went into my room, and I was facing the wall, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was the summer, and I was facing the wall when I went to bed, and I felt as if something was looking at me. So I looked towards I looked in back of me, I looked towards the bedroom door, and there were these two short, 3-foot, whatever they were, standing by the door. They were outside my door. Now, they didn't have big eyes like the other guy had seen. They had these big hats on that looked like Mexican hats. It was weird. And they had these, it looked like trench coats that went down from off their shoulders and straight down to the floor, but they were flat. You couldn't see any dimension in them at all. It was just like cardboard cutouts standing in the hallway. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I turned around. I said, nope, that's not there. It can't be there. And then I turned back real quick, and they were inside the room, and I freaked out. They were standing by my dresser, and I pulled the covers over my head. I was like, I act like a little girl, I pulled the covers over my head, and I felt something touch my foot, and I shot out from under the covers and grabbed the light and put the light on, and they were gone. But things happen. I mean, things do happen. Who knows what they are, but I so believe what that guy said. I mean, I hope everybody calls in with the crazy stories that they've had, because there's something really serious going on.
Hey,
all right, that's all I have to say.
Hey, appreciate the call in, and I'm sure even Robert might possibly say you work for the government. Not everybody has alien encounters or disinformation.
Yeah, too bad. I wish he would. I wish he would.
I felt that the person, Mark's story from Maine, was very genuine. He didn't come across like he was manipulative whatsoever, and he seemed genuine and scared. It put a little bit of my arms rose up when he was, talking about some of this stuff. It was quite impressive. Hey, appreciate it, Russell. You get back to us, on some of these other radio shows. We're going to go.
Yeah, I have many other things to talk about. I'll call in from time to time and tell you other things that have happened to me. So
appreciate it.
I have seen. So all right, take care, Blake. Doing a great job. And later.
Thanks. Keep your eyes on the sky, Russell. And I want to talk to Chris one last time from Los Angeles. What did you think about that? The debate that you just heard.
Yeah, it was interesting too, because I listened to your last show, and there was quite a debate on that as well. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's a good thing. It's good to get ideas flowing and get different opinions out there. I mean, if you do a lot of research into the abduction, side of things, it seems pretty credible. You see it.
Sure, definitely. We're going to be getting to some special UFOs right now. Chris, I want to thank you for joining us at Third Phase of Moon.
My
We're going to be, keeping an eye out. You let us know if you capture any footage. If anybody wants to check out some of it, I think you gave it to UFO Robert Bingham on his YouTube channel, UFO Robert Bingham. Take a look on YouTube. Hey, thanks again, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to end this with the top UFOs of February 2013. We're going to watch it right here on YouTube. And we're looking at this disc-shaped object flying through the sky. It is absolutely incredible, and it seems very swift and fast. I'm here with my twin brother assistant. He's the director, the guy behind the scenes, filming some of the Third Phase of Moon episodes where you see me walking and introducing. He works pretty hard. Brent, what do you think you're looking at right here?
Well, what I like about it right now is that the acceleration and the speed this UFO is taken off. People say that this is some sort of military drone, but what I'm looking at is this thing stops on a dime, and it's just not quite military. It's definitely a UFO in our book.
And now we're looking at this new footage caught by Brian McPhee from Scotland of this incredibly bright light in the sky. It doesn't look like any aircraft to me. What do you say about that, Brett?
Gee, this thing's lighting up like a light bulb. It's definitely translucent, and it seems quite large because this thing's focused in as far as we could push it. And it's up there in the clouds. It looks at least to be the size of a bus. And this thing is bright. We're looking at it right now, and we'd like to get your opinions and comments, so please comment below.
Every month we put out the best UFO sightings of the month, and, this footage out of Scotland is quite amazing. People have been commenting on it for this past couple weeks that it's been up, and it is quite spectacular and bright, and I have no idea what this is. It is a classic UFO sighting, and we're going to be looking at some other incredible sightings coming up out of Mexico. Manuel Sanchez, he's been doing a lot of work. He is a sky watcher from Mexico. His footage is coming up here very shortly, but how does he get all this video, Brent? Mexico's just like a hot spot out there now, and it's just going off over there in Mexico in regards to UFO sightings, orbs, saucers. Sometimes they just get massive, like they get to the size of, they look like football field size UFOs.
What I like about Manuel is he's creating a team out in Mexico, and that's what we're doing here at Third Phase Moon. And he's organized a Skywatcher network, and we suggest that you check out his channel because he's just loaded with UFOs all around Mexico and Tijuana. And with his connections out there, I think he's worked with Jamie Musan and other high-connected people out there. And what I suggest is to really analyze his footage, because what we're looking at right now is this massive, I don't know, silver. It almost looks like a triangle, or it almost looks like the magician's flying carpet. But it is quite stunning, and he does such a great job. He has it on tripod. He comments through the whole thing, and he's capturing it live. And we're going to keep an eye on this guy, and he promises to keep giving us whatever he gets out of Tijuana. So subscribe to Third Phase of Moon.
Yeah, in Baja and Mexicali, in that area, he's covering this whole South American aspect. I'd say he's the best sky watcher out of Mexico, and his footage is absolutely incredible. And we're looking at this right now. Are storms a magnet for UFOs? It seems like when storms are going off, there's like conductivity in the air, electricity. Are these ball lightning? Is this a phenomenon known as a weather kind of phenomenon known as ball lightning? All I know is this object right now we're looking at just hid behind the clouds. It ducked behind the clouds, and it turned into a black orb, and there's many other lights above it. This is incredible footage we're looking at, Brent.
Yeah, what I like about it, too, you just mentioned we're zooming in close on it, we're slowing it down, and we're putting in quite a bit of contrast just to make these lights pop. And what's fascinating is how they go through the clouds and they change color. They're not consistent with a Chinese lantern where they just glow in the sky consistently. These things are fluctuating in color and moving fast, and that's what we like about these videos. And we get about 10, maybe 15 videos a day from around the world, and we pick the best ones and we give them to you, and we let you decide. And I decide on this one right now. This is great footage, and I love it, and that's why we posted it on Third Phase of Moon.
Hey, Brent, I really want to thank you for joining us on the radio show. We'll have him back. You know, Brent works really hard putting in the effort of, wow, this nighttime footage we're looking at, again, from Manuel Sanchez is amazing. And if you captured anything amazing in regards to UFOs, contact Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. And we're going to be posting live updates from our correspondent over there in Arizona covering the UFO Congress. Dr. Jay Elias is working really hard getting the top interviews from ufologists from around the world. Stan Friedman, Stan Romanek, Dr. Roger Lear, and many others, and famous abductee Travis Walters. So this is going to be amazing footage coming out shortly here at Third Phase of Moon. And like I said, to contact us, it's very easy. It's Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. And if you've captured anything amazing in regards to UFOs, we're the place to come to, because we're going to keep you on the forefront, get the information out as quickly as possible, and we try and protect your rights as a person who shot the video. My name's Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time.
Third Phase of Moon.